You don't need me to sell you on the AFC West being must-watch. You already know it is. What matters is how the offseason shuffled the deck and why every small move becomes a big deal for the Chiefs. Bottom line, the Raiders tried to reset with a veteran coach and more draft capital. The Broncos leaned into defense while keeping faith in a promising young QB. The Chargers aimed to give Justin Herbert more help, and the Chiefs focused on fixing the trenches and adding playmakers. That's the high-level headline. But here's the part you need to care about as a fan. Schedule, context, and coaching philosophies change matchups in ways that won't show up on a box score until it's too late. The Raiders aren't the pushovers they were a year ago. New coaching, extra picks, and a veteran QB create more structure, and that can turn close games into wins. The Broncos' defense looks deeper, and if their rookie QB avoids the sophomore dip, Denver suddenly becomes the sort of team that can pressure the Chiefs into uncomfortable, tight games. The Chargers did the obvious thing. Try to give Herbert enough weapons and balance so defenses can't just dare them to run. For Kansas City, the most important takeaway is this: incremental improvements matter more than headline signings. Small upgrades on the offensive line and a few targeted depth pieces change how I view this team's ceiling. If the line holds and guys get healthy, the Chiefs' offense stalls a lot less in big moments, which is everything when you're facing a mobile quarterback, a high-powered passing attack, and defenses constructed to take away one plan. Here's a quick thing for the comments that I want you to do right now. One word. Who wins the AFC West? Drop that one word below. Then type yes or no. Do you think this AFC West is harder than last year? Tell me why in one sentence. And while you're typing, do me a solid and hit subscribe. We're pushing to 5,000 subscribers and every new supporter helps us. Keep breaking down games, moves, and what it all means for Chiefs Kingdom. Ready for the team-by-team breakdown? Let's start with the Raiders because understanding them is key to seeing how the AFC West shakes out. Last year, they finished 4-13. Not exactly inspiring confidence, but the offseason tells a different story. Pete Carroll is now at the helm. Sure, he's the oldest coach in the league, but experience isn't something you can teach, and his ability to manage games and develop players matters more than his age. At quarterback, Geno Smith brings stability, and the draft gave them Ashton Gante and 10 other picks to address gaps. They also added defensive reinforcements and some smart free agent signings, all clear signs that the Raiders aren't just treading water, they want to climb. On the flip side, they lost Gardner Minshew to the Chiefs, along with key defensive pieces like Robert Spillane and Nate Hobbs. That's going to sting, especially in high-pressure division matchups. My take? I see them improving to around 8 wins. They probably won't make the playoffs, but the Raiders are no longer pushovers. Chiefs fans need to respect that every game against them could be a test, especially if Carroll and Smith find chemistry quickly. Now, moving on to the Broncos. Last year's 10-7 finish showed potential but also exposed limits. Even with a strong defense and a promising rookie quarterback, they only managed 3rd in the division. This offseason, Denver made smart moves. Safety Lanoa Hufanga strengthens the secondary, linebacker Dre Greenlaw adds versatility, and tight end Evan Ingram plus running back J.K. Dobbins provide more balance on offense. Drafting cornerback Jade Barron in the first round should help tighten an already solid defense. If Bo Nix avoids the classic sophomore slump, the Broncos could challenge for 12 wins, putting pressure on the Chiefs in key games. Of course, they lost linebacker Cody Barton, running back Javonte Williams, and QB Tremon Smith. But the overall direction is positive. Defense steps up and offense stays steady. Schedule-wise, Denver faces a slightly tougher slate than last year, including games against the AFC South and NFC East, plus matchups with the Bengals, Jets, and Packers. Even with the stronger lineup, these games mostly play to Denver's strengths. Here's a quick engagement moment for you. Do you think the Raiders can really hit 8 wins, or am I being too generous? Give this video a thumbs up. If you agree, thumbs down if you don't, and leave a one-sentence explanation in the comments. Also, type R for Raiders or B for Broncos if you think one of these two could finish above the Chargers. Understanding these shifts is crucial because it frames the level of dominance the Chiefs need to maintain in the division. Stick with me, because next we're breaking down the Chargers and then seeing exactly how the Chiefs respond to all of these offseason moves. Now let's talk about the Chargers and, of course, the Chiefs, because this is where the AFC West really gets interesting. The Chargers finished 11-6 last year, sitting second in the division, and they made some clear off-season moves to try and give Justin Herbert enough support to succeed. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are back as the familiar faces in the passing game, and if they can stay healthy and productive, they'll make a huge difference. The team also added guard Mekhi Becton to help the offensive line, drafted running back Omar Hampton, and brought in cornerback Benjamin St-Juste, tight end Tyler Conklin, and quarterback Dante Jackson to add depth. On the defensive side, losing Joey Bosa and running back Gus Edwards hurts a bit. But last year, the defense was already one of the league's best, so the impact isn't crippling. The big question: can Herbert get enough support from the receivers and running game to keep defenses honest? If Williams and Allen struggle or face injuries, opposing defenses can load the box, slow Hampton, and force Herbert into tough situations. On the flip side, if the WR duo performs as hoped, the Chargers become a real threat for the division, capable of giving the Chiefs serious competition. Their schedule this year is also tougher, facing the AFC South, NFC East, plus the Dolphins, Vikings, and Steelers as non-divisional opponents, so every game counts. And now, let's shift to the Chiefs. Last season, Kansas City dominated at 15-2, including one game without starters, and this offseason they made strategic moves to protect that level of excellence. Gardner Minshew joins as QB depth, offensive tackles Josh Simmons and Jalen Moore strengthen the line, cornerback Christian Fulton improves the secondary, and defensive tackle Jerry Tiller adds needed help up front. Sure, some players left, Joe Thuney, Justin Reed, Wharton, and Naughty on the defensive line, but overall, the Chiefs addressed long-standing weaknesses, particularly along the offensive line. Returning healthy players is a massive boost, too, since injuries limited consistency last year. If the line holds and key contributors stay on the field, the offense will be less likely to stall in big games. That's critical in a division that now features a mobile QB in Denver, a revitalized Raiders team, and a Chargers squad loaded with weapons. Every matchup becomes a chance to see how Kansas City adapts and exploits small gaps left by their division rivals. Quick interaction for you. Do you think Herbert's WR core will be the deciding factor when the Chargers face the Chiefs? Type yes or no in the comments. And if you follow the Chargers closely, drop one sleeper name you think could surprise this year. I want to see who the real dark horses are. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We're pushing to 5,000 subscribers, and everyone helps us bring more detailed Chiefs breakdowns straight to you. With these moves and returns, the division is competitive, but the Chiefs remain the team to beat. All right, friend, now it's time to put it all together and talk final AFC West standings based on the offseason moves, schedule challenges, and what we've seen from each team so far. Starting at the bottom, the Raiders show clear improvement from last year's 4-13 record to somewhere around 8-9 wins. Pete Carroll brings experience and structure, Geno Smith adds quarterback stability, and their 11 draft picks plus free agent signings fill some gaps. Losing Gardner Minshew and key defensive contributors limits their ceiling, so while they'll be more competitive, a playoff berth remains unlikely. Next up, the Broncos. If Bo Nix avoids the sophomore slump and the defensive upgrades perform as expected, Denver could push to a solid 12-5 record. That's strong enough to challenge in division games, but I still don't see them as a serious Super Bowl threat. The Chiefs hold that title. The Chargers hover around 11-6. If Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and the supporting cast click, they can compete for second place and push Kansas City in select matchups. But if the WR core underperforms or faces injuries, Herbert's offense could stall against top defenses, leaving them just shy of the division crown. And finally, the Chiefs. Honestly, they're set up to dominate again. Offensive line upgrades, key signings like Gardner Minshew for depth, returning healthy players, and overall roster depth all point toward a top finish. I'm not giving an exact record, but let's be real. They're not finishing fourth, third, or even second. Kansas City has the tools, experience, and consistency to stay ahead, and the margin may only tighten in individual games. Every matchup in this division tests the team, but the Chiefs have addressed their weaknesses and are poised to exploit any gaps left by the Raiders, Broncos, or Chargers. Now, for some engagement, I want to see your votes in the comments. Who wins the AFC West this year? Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, or Raiders? Type your pick and tell me why in one sentence. Also, smash that like button and subscribe to help us reach our 5,000 subscriber goal. The more support we get, the more content we can produce, including my next video where I'll go game by game on the Chiefs' full season schedule. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss updates on trades, injuries, and insider info. Wrapping it up, the AFC West is stronger and more competitive than ever, but the Chiefs have made the right moves to stay ahead. Every game matters, every matchup counts, and for Chiefs Kingdom, that means endless excitement. Your predictions, your takes, and your votes matter, so drop them below and join the conversation. Thanks for sticking with me. Let's enjoy the season, watch the Chiefs dominate, and keep the conversation alive. Chiefs Kingdom forever.